So guys, today we have a built RAM TRX to perfection. Brian, he's been on my channel before. He has a bunch of built trucks, and dude, this is insane.
It is. This is really good. I took it to Radical Classics and had them help me build this one, and it's turned out awesome.
Okay.
We're going into the dyno next week. We should be supposedly tuner saying when we're done, probably about 950 to 1,000 at the tire, about 1,400 at the crank, and this is a monster. It's easy to drive on the road. Drivability is still there, but didn't go to one of those big name shops.
Yeah.
I wanted this done right.
Yeah.
And so this motor is not just factory motor. Brett can get into all that stuff, but it's done right.
Yeah.
Suspension, everything.
Well, real quickly, you know Josh at Truck Stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I know you like things done right. So
absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, because he builds your Cummins for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you do the flat tappet on that one too? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, we did a little bit of everything.
And you said Radical Classic. So over here we got Brett.
Yep.
The mastermind behind all this chaos over here. So we're gonna jump into the video because you're gonna kind of walk us through how you built this truck. One thing you said today that was really good was you care about the end product. So it's not about just building a monster. You want to be able to cruise in it, drive it across country without any issues. So that's pretty much what you built here.
Yeah, I mean, no car is good if you can't drive it.
Yeah.
No matter how much horsepower it makes, if you can't drive it, it's not any fun. And a lot of these street cars are making so much power these days that everyone's getting better on the drivability on it. But yeah, I mean, if it bucks, if it fights you at a stoplight, all that type of stuff, it's just not fun.
Yeah.
So the main thing is make sure the drivability is the best that it possibly can be, and basically drive 1,000+ horsepower vehicle, but it, acts like a stock vehicle. That's the biggest thing to do.
Awesome.
So
good stuff. Well, let's go ahead and jump into it. So Brett, how did this all get started?
So originally Bryant approached us to want something a little bit faster. So the initial build, we took the factory blower, sent it out to Jokers, had it all ported, and changed the crank pulley, changed the supercharger pulley, put the meth injection on it, did a boost to pump, and then that was able to get us around 820 to the wheels. And he ran that setup for about 4,500 miles, and then we swapped it over to this setup, and we took the motor out, had it all bored, put in GibTech pistons, all of our rods. We utilized the factory crank, and then the lifters, we use just factory lifters. A lot of these engines these days have good lifters, as long as they're not the ones that are prone to lifter problems. But the system, the setup on this is a good setup of getting rid of the bad parts from the factory engine and using the good parts from the factory engine, because we like to use a lot of the factory stuff to keep the OEM reliability and everything.
Yeah.
The meth kit is a pro meth kit. It's all specs.
Hold on. This has a meth kit on it?
Yeah, so we use the water meth to cool down the IATs, effectively raising the octane. So
that's intake, air temperature, IAT.
Yes.
Okay.
And here in Utah, we don't have a lot of ethanol stations, and so we're starting to get them. But one of the things that makes it easier to drive is to be able to just use pump gas. And so we use the meth as a substitute for that, to make it so that we can run the timing that we want to run and turn up the boost and do stuff like that without having to worry about finding a gas station that has E85.
Yeah. And just so people know too, ethanol does raise the octane level for the fuel, basically.
E85, I think the effective octane on that is like around 106 or so, I think. It's been a while since I looked at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Utah, we just don't have a lot of that, and so it makes it hard when you're driving a vehicle, especially something like this that can get 7 miles to the gallon when you're in the throttle. You really have to plan things around finding the gas stations, and that's just a little bit tougher up here.
Sure.
So we use water meth on this, and we just use a -20 washer fluid. So anything that you can get at an auto parts store, just something without any additives in it, just a plain basic -20 windshield washer fluid. So it's a full pro meth kit, 4 nozzles on top of the blower, which is a 3.8 liter Whipple supercharger. And then in the tank we have a triple fuel pump system from Ford. It's 3 Walbro fuel pumps. Oh, nice. And then of course all upgraded fuel lines up to the rails, boost reference pressure regulator, so it doesn't run off of the Pulse system from the factory anymore, but that's what we have to do to turn the boost up and be able to control all the pumps the way that we want to control them. Yeah. It's a full 4 control module from them as well, so all of that just makes it so we have more than enough fuel for probably about 1,800 horsepower. Okay. So the injectors they're 1,300 cc ID injectors. Being that we're on pump gas, we're able to get away with the 1,300s. If we were running ethanol, we'd have to bump it up to probably the 1,700s, because with the ethanol you need 33% more fuel at the E85 level. So the 85 is just the percentage of ethanol, and so around that 85% mark you need 33% more fuel. That's the rough guideline to it. I see. And so, but by using pump gas and the meth, we're able to run a little bit smaller injector. It makes it easier to control for idle and stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of the engine was all taken down. It was bored out. We used the factory crank. I can't remember if I already said it, but Gibtech custom pistons, all of our rods. It's a custom bullet cam. Just everything spec to what this motor is set up to be. So the engine builder that I use, he does a lot of pro stock engines and big blocks and stuff like that, but he does a lot of LS engines. He's done a couple Hemis for me, so he does really, really good work. He's kind of the only guy that I really trust when it comes to this stuff. And so yeah, I mean that's what we did to the engine in this. And then the transmission, it's all stock. There's no pulsing at a light when you come to a light and you hit the brakes. So stock converter, stock transmission. The ZF transmissions are super strong. Yeah. These have a 95 in them. The 70s are in the Scat Packs, the 90s are in the Hellcats, but they're all really strong transmissions and they're super popular for doing swaps nowadays. And then the exhaust is it's American Racing headers, and then custom built mufflers, custom built resonators by Steve at Dynamic Fabrication up north. He does amazing work on his mufflers and his exhaust systems. So he's built a lot of this exhaust that's on there right now.
Is that 304 stainless? Is that what he uses?
Yeah, it's all stainless. The mufflers and the resonators, they're all stainless packing, so it won't blow out. Oh, nice. If you run the fiberglass packing, it'll blow out pretty easy. The stainless is able to handle a lot more heat, and even when it does get up to those temperatures, it doesn't ruin the mufflers. But yeah, all 3-inch out, custom back to basically the axles or so, and then we just kind of use the axle pipes back. But yeah, that's kind of the setup on the engine. The meth tank is all set up through the smuggler boxes on the factory thing, so you just open up the smuggler box and you can fill everything from there. But yeah, that's kind of the basics of the engine setup on this.
Nice. Now, in your opinion, what do you think these engines can handle internally for transmission on power wise? Like,
so the transmissions, the 95s, I'm not sure. The 70s, you can do up to 1,200 horsepower, 950 foot-pounds of torque. It's all within the tuning of the system. All the torque management, that's what matters. Is you need to be able to tell these transmissions like what it's making so that it knows exactly how to operate inside of itself, right? And so you can see a lot of people that will blow up these transmissions by putting a little bit of horsepower in them, and really what it comes down to is just the torque management wasn't set up properly. And so that's the key with a lot of these cars. That's the key with a lot of new cars, is getting the torque management set up properly, and that's how all these transmissions work now. And so if you don't know how to set those up, or if it's not set up right, you will go through a transmission. And so, but yeah, these stock ones, I have no idea what the limits are yet. Like I said, I know the 70s, I know the limit. The 90s, the 95s, I'm not sure. And you know, one of the things with these trucks is that they're so heavy that there's a lot more stress on the transmissions.
Yeah.
So you have to be mindful of things like that as well.
Good point.
But I mean, so far we haven't seen any signs of the transmission even feeling anything. So far it's been good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just all factory drivetrain, nothing done to the axle, factory drive shaft. Some of these drive shafts on some GM vehicles, they're rated a certain mile per hour and they end up just twisting themselves.
Yeah.
So you have to know all that stuff before you really start pushing these cars to the limit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, try to keep as much factory as you can. Just there's $1 billion in R&D. What? I can't do any better than $1 billion in R&D. So, but we can fix little things that are not up to par, like the pistons are not the best pistons within the system of this. They melt really easy. They're just, you know, so by doing the custom pistons and the custom rods and stuff like that, we're able to take the weak links out of the engine setup itself. So.
Now, and last question on the engine part of things, like, could someone do a shift on the fly if like they would like to turn down the power?
So these ones not as much. So when you do like the factory engines, you don't really have the ability to swap on the fly as easy because you have to upload the tunes with the HP tuners. Now you do have, like with the diesels, you have EFI Live, which gives you a knob that you can change the tune to different positions and everything.
Yeah.
But with these computer systems, it's a lot harder to do that. But especially with the blower, they're set to one boost, and that's it. And it's all based off of the pulley setup. And then obviously your boost numbers depend on the blower size, the cubic inches of the engine, all that comes into factor. But with a twin turbo setup or a single turbo setup, you can change the boost on the fly and make it so you can give it more boost or less boost. And then as long as, you know, the tuning inside is all set up, then it'll count for all that type of stuff. And that's where like the standalone ECUs really come into play and make it really nice to do all that type of stuff. So, but with a factory ECU and a supercharger, you're pretty much set up. This is the boost you have. That's what you're gonna have to run unless you want to get out and change the pulley sizes and do stuff like that.
Gotcha. Now, Brett, really quickly, let's talk about the suspension on this because this is not stock, obviously.
No, all the suspension's been changed out. The front is all King coilovers, remote mount reservoirs, and then all Kibitech upper and lower control arms. Any component that Kibitech basically offered went on this truck. So yeah, the front is all King coilovers. The rear is the King shocks with the remote mount bypass, and then the coil springs that come with the kit, as well as the King upper stabilizer or upper shock absorber that goes on top of the axle. So yeah, I mean, the factory suspension is really good. There's a few little faults within the system that can make the truck kind of porpoise. And so, but by getting rid of all that, we're able to make it soak up the bumps a lot better, off-roading, and be a much better setup. The ride quality, all of that stuff is just overall a much better setup for the purpose of what this truck was built for.
Nice.
And then as well as all of this, we have to make it stop. The factory brakes on these work quite well. But so what we did on this was we had another kit that we tried out, but it was apparent that it couldn't handle the weight of this vehicle.
Really?
And so we ended up ripping that off. And what we've done is we have some different brake pads in the rear. So we still use the rear calipers, the factory rear calipers, the factory rear brakes. But we put a different type of brake pad in it that can handle a higher heat. And then the front is all Willwood brakes. I can't remember the exact size of the rotors. They're either, I think, a 15.5 or a 16-inch rotor. The calipers are absolutely massive. And after ripping off the other brand and putting the Willwoods on there, it was a night and day difference on how well they work. And this truck, you know, I think they're like around a 6,500 pound vehicle or so. and these brakes will throw you through the windshield, no problem at all. I mean, they work absolutely flawless. They're 1,000 times better than the previous setup that we fought with. And but yeah, it's one of those things where at times you can see people skimp on pretty important parts of the build.
Yeah.
And you know, they turn up the power and they do all this stuff, but they forget about the amount of heat that's going to be put into the brake system. And so just by, you know, changing out the brake pads like we did in the rear, doing stuff that'll handle the higher heat ranges is going to make it so you're not going to have the brake fade and stuff like that, because if you can't stop, it really doesn't do you any good to turn the power up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, Willwood is, I love working with Willwood. Their products are great. Their customer service is awesome. And when we kind of called them and talked to them about this setup, they made sure to let us know that this would work exactly how we want it to. So, and they were 100% right.
Thank you guys for this. This is awesome. So I guess next time we meet, you're gonna be putting this on a dyno.
Yes.
And then we'll take it for a drive.
That's right.
Yeah, and this might potentially in the future become available because you might be considering getting the brand new TRX when it comes out at some point.
There's always other toys out there.
There's always other toys out there for sure.
This one's awesome. It's been a lot of fun, but yeah, I've got too many to pick from right now.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate
No problem.
it. Cool.
No problem.
Thank you, Brian.
All right. Thank you.